The Columbus City Council meeting for November 15th, 2021 will now come to order. In compliance with the Open Meeting Act, revised statute 84-1407, a current copy of this act is posted in the meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you, or Robin, would you please call roll?
Buckley.
Here.
Augustine Schulte.
Here.
Barr.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Krisha.
Here.
Lohr.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Buckley, the roll has been called.
Thank you. Mrs. Council President.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all of our citizens. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose proud stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. If at any time during our council meeting this evening, if anyone in our audience would like to come up and address an item on our agenda, we'd ask you please to come forward, give your name and address, and we'd ask that you limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. With that, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a City Council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of November 1st, 2021 City Council meeting. Item 4B, minutes of November 1st, 2021 Community Development Agency meeting. Item 4C, resolution number R21-142, approving lease to hangar aircraft with Gilpin G. Wigington for hangar number 1240NE. Board of Airport Commissioners recommends approval. Item 4D, resolution number R21-143, reaffirming city's intent to provide or expand municipal solid waste collection service. Item 4E, resolution number R21-144, approving year-end certification of city street superintendent to the Nebraska Department of Transportation. Item 4F, resolution number R21-145, approving interlocal agreement for participation in the Northeast Nebraska Economic Development District. Item 4G, resolution number R21-146, approving Second Amendment to agreement with Board of Regents of the University of Nebraska on behalf of University of Nebraska Medical Center for forensic and crime lab testing services. Item 4H, resolution number R21-147, authorizing payment of various improvement projects. Item 4I, Finance Department reports. Item 4J, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and Council, is there anything you'd like to have removed from consent status?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay.
There we go.
Motion passes. Brings us up to special presentations.
Item 6A, proclamation declaring Saturday, November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday.
Whereas the government of Columbus, Nebraska celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 31.7 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of the firms with paid employees, and they are responsible for 65.1% of the net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas small businesses employ 47.1% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, 88% of the United States consumers feel a personal commitment to support small businesses in the wake of the pandemic, and 92% of small business owners have pivoted the way they do business to stay open during the pandemic. And whereas 97% of Small Business Saturday shoppers recognize the impact they can make by shopping small, 85% of them also encourage friends and family to do so too. And whereas 56% of shoppers reported that they shopped online with a small business on Small Business Saturday in 2020, and more than 50% of consumers who reported shopping small endorsed a local business on social media or shopped at a local business because of social media recommendation. And whereas Columbus, Nebraska supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities, and whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, James B. Bulkley, the mayor of the city of Columbus, Nebraska, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 27, 2021, as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of our community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on this day and throughout the year. Brings us up to public hearings.
Item 7A, public hearing, application of Skis Bar and Grill LLC, doing business as Skis Bar and Grill for a retail Class C liquor license at 2403 11th Street.
Anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Mr. Mayor, I move the public hearing be closed and the application of Skis Bar and Grill for retail Class C liquor license be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 7A1, application of Skis Bar and Grill for Terry L. Stankowski as manager in conjunction with liquor license.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the application of Skis Bar and Grill for Terry L. Stankowski as a manager be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the application of Terry Stankowski. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to reports of council committees.
Item 10A, Public Property Safety and Works Committee, November 8th, 2021. Item 10A1, application of Stephen Rawmakers, Granville Custom Homes, Inc., to vacate multiple side lot easements in Shady Lake Meadows subdivision, vicinity of 23rd Street and 57th Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, I move that this report be adopted.
Second?
Okay, I'll give the report. The Public Property Safety and Works Committee recommends the application of Stephen Rawmakers, Granville Custom Homes, Inc. for easement vacations be approved.
Okay. Go ahead, Brent, I'm sorry.
I move that this report be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to new business.
Item 13A, request from Ski's Bar and Grill for lottery sales outlet location at 2403 11th Street.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the request of Ski's Bar and Grill for a lottery outlet location be approved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve this request. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, application of American Legion Post 84 for Roberta M. Douglas as manager in conjunction with liquor license.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the application of American Legion for Roberta M. Douglas as manager be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Roberta M. Douglas as manager of the American Legion Post 84. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13C, application of Kenneth Armstrong for preliminary plat of Luke Armstrong Subdivision, 28th Avenue and 35th Street. Planning Commission recommends approval.
I'm here on behalf of Trammell
Minute.
Surveying.
Just a minute, we've got to bring it to the,
Sorry.
and then we'll have you come up, okay?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the preliminary plat of Luke Armstrong subdivision be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion?
My name's Teresa Tremel. I'm with Trammell Surveying. It's lots 2, 3, and 4 of Whispering Springs, second edition, and he's splitting them in approximately in half to build townhomes on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13D, public hearing. Application of Kenneth Armstrong for final plat and development agreement of Luke Armstrong Subdivision, 28th Avenue and 35th Street. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move this public hearing be closed.
Second. We didn't have any
Is there any,
opposition.
is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing? All right. Motion to close.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I recommend this public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13D1, resolution number R21-148, approving final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number R21-148.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution R21-148. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13E, application of Granville Custom Homes, Inc. for preliminary plat of Frontier Park Second Edition, north of Armory Drive, west of Cozy Drive. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the preliminary plat of Frontier Park, second edition be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat of Frontier Park, second edition. Any discussion?
It's a public hearing, and we need to go
Wait,
through.
that's next.
No? Okay.
That's next. Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13F, public hearing, application of Granville Custom Homes, Inc. for final plat and development agreement of Frontier Park, second edition, north of Armory Drive, west of Cozy Drive. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
I move that public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by aye, those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13F1, resolution number R21-149, approving final plat and development agreement.
Mr. Mayor, I move the preliminary plat of front, let's see, I'm on the wrong one. We keep moving around here.
13F1.
149.
There.
Okay. I move that resolution number R21-149, approving the final plat and development agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number R21-49, approving the final plat and development agreement. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13G, application of Columbus Community Hospital and City of Columbus for preliminary plat of Sunset Park Subdivision, 42nd Street, east of 48th Avenue. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Mr. Mayor, approve the application of the preliminary plat of Sunset Park subdivision be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat of Sunset Park subdivision. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13H, public hearing, application of Columbus Community Hospital and City of Columbus for final plat of Sunset Park Subdivision, 42nd Street, east of 48th Avenue. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing? Is there anyone here to speak for this public hearing?
Move that the public hearing be closed.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor signify by aye, those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13H1, resolution number R21-150, approving final plat.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution R21-150 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution R21-150. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13I, plans, specifications, estimate of cost in the amount of $2,725,000, and authorization to advertise for bids for water and concrete improvements 2022, 15th Street from 23rd Avenue to 27th Avenue, and 48th Avenue from 27th Street to 38th Street. Plans and specifications on file in the engineering department.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the plan specifications and estimate of cost and authorization to advertise for bids be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the plans, specifications, and estimated costs and advertise for bids. Any discussion?
Just a question, didn't we just recently do 48th Avenue from 27th to 38th?
No, we haven't done anything on it for a long, since it was originally constructed. Don't remember when that was, a long time ago, several years ago.
To a 3-lane, when it went to a 3-lane?
Well, is the segment you're thinking of maybe from 38th Street to Lost Creek Parkway?
But everything back to the south, wasn't
Yeah.
that, isn't that newer?
No, from the highway up to 38th Street is not new. No.
Gotta pay more attention, I guess.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 13J, comments from mayor and city council members. In compliance with the Open Meetings Act, no discussion can be held on this item.
Any council members have comments this evening? I have nothing to share this evening either, so we'll move on to ordinances on their first reading.
Item 15A, ordinance number 21-38, vacating utility easements in Block B between lots 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 6, 6 and 7, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 10 and 11, 11 and 12, 12 and 13, 13 and 14, 14 and 15, and 15 and 16. And in Block C, between lots 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 7 and 8, and 8 and 9, all in Shady Lake Meadows subdivision.
Mr. Mayor, I move the rules be suspended and ordinance number 21-38 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 21-38 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 21-38.
Mr. Mayor, I move for the adoption of ordinance number 21-38.
Second.
We have, it says on the board, ordinance number 21-39.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a,
Oh, that's the next one.
that's the next one?
Yeah, this is.
Okay, we're still doing 15A. Okay, I'm sorry. We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 21-38. Any discussion other than mine? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item
Got ahead of
15B,
myself.
ordinance number 21-39, creating street improvement district number 184, 23rd Street from East 48th Avenue to 54th Avenue.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 21-39 be read by number only.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 21-29 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 21-39.
I move for the adoption of ordinance number 2139.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 21-39. Any discussion?
Just a question, you sure that's to the east and not to the west? 48th Avenue, doesn't that go west?
Yeah, but it starts east, starts by the railroad tracks, then it goes through the 48th Avenue intersection all the way to 54th Avenue on 23rd Street. So it starts on east of 48th Avenue by the railroad tracks.
Okay, but goes to 54th,
It goes to 54th.
okay. All right, just, it looked funny because if you're thinking how the avenues run, they gotta go to the west with the bigger numbers. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to consideration of payroll and bills on file.
Item 18, consideration of payroll and bills on file. Payroll and all other bills included in consent agenda. Item 18A, ARL Credit Services.
Mr. Mayor, I ask to be abstained from voting on this agenda item because I am owner of ARL Credit Services and therefore have a conflict of interest.
I move that Councilmember Jablonski be allowed to abstain from voting on this agenda item and to suspend the city council rules requiring him to leave the council chambers during the discussion and vote on this agenda item.
We have a motion and a second?
We have a motion, we need a second.
Need a second.
Second.
We now have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the bill from ARL Credit Services be approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bill from ARL Credit Services. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.